proof of the black Germans of the Middle Ages. Benjamin Franklin, who was an inhabitant of Pennsylvania, wrote an essay in 1751 outlining his frustrations with an influx of Germans immigrating to Pennsylvania. Let's see how these Germans are described. Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of our Anglifying them, and will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire?
And that apparently they had a special vault in the Grand Canyon where they buried some of the leaders, people they had left behind with artifacts and things like that.
Map from only 200 years ago shows California as an island with a Red Sea running in between. Wait for the zoom out. This is the full map of America 200 years ago. A Chinese map from 1418 by Zhang He also shows California as an island.
Firefighter is facing charges for posting a photo of a deadly crime scene on social media. The pictures were of a double death investigation of 19-year-old twin brothers. They were found shot to death at the top of a mountain in North Georgia. And Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez is in Towns County in Hiawassee, where all this has the community talking.
You've never been up here. I just want to show you how difficult it is to get to the top of Bell Mountain. This is the one road you can take. It's narrow, it's steep, and it was very, very windy. People in this community who come up here often, they were shocked that twin boys were up here, both shot to death, and it's just hard for them to believe that this was a murder-suicide.
As a parent, that's a hard buy.
Shane Bray is puzzled by the deaths of these twin brothers, especially after the DVI said this was being investigated as a murder-suicide.
I can't say what happened. Wasn't there, but that's a tough sell.
Quadir and Nazir Lewis were 19-year-old identical twins from Lawrenceville. According to their family, they had lots of love between one another and lots of life plans, including a trip to Boston scheduled the day before they were found dead. Investigators found them both shot to death at the top of Bell Mountain, nearly 100 miles away from home, with the plane tickets to Boston in their wallets. Tuesday, the GBI arrested a Towns County volunteer firefighter, Scott Curlin, and charged him with misdemeanor obstruction. They say he took a photo of the deadly crime scene and posted it on social media. We knocked on his door in Hiawassee. We saw him, but he wouldn't open the door. We just want to give you a chance to explain your side. Investigators say there's no evidence that suggests there's any other person involved. The Lewis family doesn't believe this was a murder-suicide. They want answers, and the community does too.
Well, you know, you just hope that they do their due diligence, and you got to put your faith in the system and pray the system works. But bottom line is, it's two young men that had a bright future that their parents don't have them anymore. There's no good end to this story.
So lots of people are waiting for this extra forensic testing that the GBI is doing. It's a huge mystery in this community, and everyone wants to know what happened to the twins. We will stay on the story. We're in Hiawassee.
If you drink coconut water, you might want to check your fridge. Right now, more than 2 million cans of coconut water are being pulled from shelves. The FDA has issued a recall on 12 can cartons of Jarritos coconut water. According to them, a seal on the can could break, and that could lead to contamination with harmful bacteria. The recall is currently in place across 29 states, including Texas. So if you have some in your fridge, they say just throw it out.
Across the U.S., the Food and Drug Administration has ongoing recall for 12 can cartons of Jarritos coconut water. Authorities say the seal on the cans could become compromised and let in harmful bacteria. The recall is currently in place across 29 states, including Wisconsin. It includes nearly 170,000 cases for a total of more than 2 million cans.
The Food and Drug Administration has an ongoing recall of Doritos coconut water. The recall is in 29 states and covers 2 million cans.
This was the 12-year-old girl dashing out of her great-grandmother's Brooklyn home at 11:40 Saturday night, ultimately getting on a number 2 train alone to the Bronx. She had been planning her getaway on Instagram with a male teen who lives there. Back in September, a 12-year-old Staten Island girl disappeared after school. The mom once caught her daughter talking to an older man online.
I wake up, open up her door, she's talking to somebody with her shirt off.
In October, we told you about another 12-year-old girl who went missing in Ronkonkoma. She was found more than a week later with a 17-year-old in Copiague. The luring of adolescent girls online is becoming more and more prevalent. If not found, many end up sexually exploited. The 12-year-old who ran from home in Brooklyn looked mature for her age and was struggling emotionally. Just the kind of girl who could be easily exploited. Her mom said the daughter reached out when she saw Pix 11's story online. Her male friend might have been scared.
Well, here you go. That is the Crystal Palace of New York City, and that is the Crystal Palace of London. This building was constructed of entirely glass and iron. It was over 100,000 square feet. It was absolutely massive. It does not exist in New York City anymore, and it does not exist in London anymore. They destroyed the Crystal Palace and everything that was in it. If you want to see the flags, if you guys want to kind of see that. Everything that was contained in there was stuff that would blow people's minds. All these artifacts made out of copper, malachite, different types of stones, gold, crystalware, glass, everything. All these beautiful things were all destroyed. And you got the cute little horses. See that right there? Cute little horses just throwing up an entirely glass and iron building that is absolutely massive. And you have to think of the time it would take to construct something like this, and you would just have this for a fair that doesn't make any money? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Now imagine if you played some pipe organs in this Crystal Palace. All of those stained glass windows would resonate and you would begin to heal instantaneously. Or if there was a bell in that area, and all that glass would begin to vibrate as well. So when you look at the Crystal Palace of 1851, and this is why I want people to look back, because when you start looking at the Crystal Palace of 1851, you start thinking a little.
All of these buildings all around here, as I told in class last night, they're ours. They belong to us. They're ancient, these buildings. There's a whole city underneath this city. They've went and burned all the major cities, the major energy centers. Our ancestors set up these energy centers that we call Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, right? Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles. They are energy centers. They're not where they are in huge, large cities just because of some coincidence. There's energy and power in these places. London, Rio de Janeiro,